All right, Shalom. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. It's your brother Atazwan Bayah. And I'm going to bring a quick, short lesson, okay, on this news story I saw, okay. And I believe this is out in Colorado Springs, it looks like, all right, where this cop beat up this homeless veteran, all right, who's a Jake. Okay, we'll read this story and get a few scriptures, and you know that'll be that. But we see this time and time again, um, where these so-called officers of the law here in Babylon just about have free will to beat, whip, kick, stomp the hell out of Jake, okay, and get away with it or get a minor slap on the wrist, all right. And Jake's out there need to remember, okay, you're under this oppressor, all right, and um, this is a part of our punishment, right? For being under the curses, for going against our power, that we suffer, um, or people of our nation, that is, suffer um, these type of events. All right, this has been pretty prevalent in the last, probably 30 years, maybe 25 years, somewhere in there, ever since Rodney King. Let's say it that way. Whatever year that was, I think that was in '92. But anyway, we'll read this story and get some scriptures and we'll be done. Now, it says here the attorney. Matter of fact, let me see if I can go a little bit up. Okay, this is where it starts. Attorneys for Jake's name is Dalvin Gadsden, 29-year-old veteran, are calling for an investigation following the release of a photo of Gadsden's bloody face after he was beaten by police officers. According to a Newsom report, the cops were also photographed smiling with bloody knuckles as Gadsden laid on the ground. And here, I don't know if you can see it very well where this cop here, you look at the smile on his face, look how red he is. That is probably, from the photo and the red lights from the police units, but they're red anyway. But anyway, his hand is all scuffed up from beating up Jake, okay? And he's got a big smile on his face. All right, so going on, it says Gadsden served in the Army National Guard as a helicopter mechanic and was homeless at the time of the October incident. And matter of fact, this came out like 9 hours ago. During which he was pulled over for a traffic stop. The report noted both an improperly displayed license tag and a car failure as reason for the stop. Okay. So according to the police officer's reasons for stopping him is because he didn't have the proper tag on his car. All right, and we know Jake likes to do that, but nonetheless, that's not called for a beating. Okay. And it goes on. It says one officer claimed Gadsden smelled of marijuana and tried to issue a DUI test. Gadsden was told when he got out of his vehicle he would be handcuffed. So he refused to exit until he was told why he was being arrested. After asking an honest question, Gadsden said he was grabbed out of his car. Quote, the same police officer immediately started punching me in the face while pulling me out of my car. After the first punch, I tried to say okay. I tried to say sorry. I tried to lay on the ground, but multiple officers were grabbing me, kicking me in the head, kneeing me and elbowing me in the face and punching me everywhere possible. After I was punched several times in the face, I lost consciousness, end quote. Gadsden said via his GoFundMe fundraiser. Okay. And then it goes on to say Gadsden was a homeless veteran living out of his car as he worked to re-enlist and continue serving his country, but all these officers saw was a black man and they beat him for it, smiling for the camera as he lay on the ground bleeding. Daniel said, pointing to the pictures, they beat him mercilessly. And now he's afraid to go outside and the VA can't see him to treat his injuries and PTSD until January. Gadsden received multiple injuries, including injuries to his eye, a ruptured eardrum, and PTSD. He was charged with 2 counts of second-degree assault on an officer. Now, on a police officer. Now, how was he assaulting an officer if he was beat up by several of them? You see, if the facts in the story are true, all right. Resisting arrest, obstructing a peace officer, driving under the influence, and driving without license plates. Both charges of second-degree assault on a police officer have been dropped. Yeah, probably because it didn't happen. And the DUI charge was dismissed in a DMV hearing on December 7th. Gadsden's attorneys are calling for a criminal investigation and for action to be taken against the officers. So that's pretty much the little article that they have on this. But, once again, understanding, Jake has to understand where he is. Okay. We're at a time of war, spiritual war. Okay. And right now we're not in position to do anything. Okay. We're waiting on Yahweh Shai. Those of us who have repented. Okay, and we're trusting in the Lord, but then you still have 2/3 of our people who are out here in these streets doing these things, and you have to wonder, what do they really think is going to happen once they get caught? Like the story says that he was driving without proper tags on his car. I mean, yeah, you're going to get pulled over. They're looking for any reason and any excuse. Okay? And with that being said, they're ignorant to the fact of why they're in this shape, why they're in this condition. Okay? All right, so let's get a couple of scriptures and we'll shut it down here. All right? And it's real simple. Okay? We just go to Isaiah 47 and read verse 6, and it says, I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou verily, Salakia. Try to get my tongue untied here. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Okay. But here you see it says, what? Thou showest them no mercy. And that's in this place. Okay. This system, this penal code system, has no mercy for Jake. Okay. And so us going against our own power time and time again. In this modern day and time, we find ourselves in these different situations. Okay. And for the 2/3, without wisdom and without understanding, without knowledge, okay, because they don't fear the Lord, they're going to suffer all of these types of things in this wicked kingdom, okay. So let's go on to Baruch 4 and 25, and it reads, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High, and all of these things that we put up with in this land, right? The joblessness, right? Sickness and disease, the being beat up by police, being wrongfully accused and thrown in prison, child support, okay, the nigga woman giving you hell, all right, all of these different things, man, okay, have come upon us in this place, all right, but it's for our correction, okay. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from the Most High, for thine enemy hath persecuted thee. But shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck. Okay. And Lord's will, many of our people, there are a lot that's gonna eventually repent, but not as many as those that will not. All right. So you have that 1/3 and 2/3 is always going to be a bigger number than 1/3. Okay. Ecclesiastes 12:10, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So, I mean, we know the climate of police brutality in this day and age, and Jake may have had a reason, of course, not to trust, these so-called peace officers. Okay, but in that, you also can't be out here doing wrong. Okay, you're egging it on, and you're putting yourself in a position to be abused. Okay, let's go over to Matthew 5, and we'll get verse 25 here, and it reads, "Agree with thine adversary quickly, while thou art in the way with him. Lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison." We might as well get verse 26 here. "Verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence till thou hast paid the uttermost farthing." Right? There's a price to pay. Okay, if you take it too far. Okay. So they asked him, to follow their instruction. If Jake had probably done that, he wouldn't have been beat like this. You see? All right, but the first thing to do is not to give them a cause or a reason, okay, to even stop you. And here he was driving with bad tags, and according to the officer, he smelled of marijuana. Now, we don't know if that's true or not, okay? But in any event, Jake's got to be, you got to be thinking, all right? You got to understand where you are, okay, at all times, okay? So pretty much that's gonna be it. Just a real short lesson. I just saw this article and thought I'd do a little commentary on it and pull out a few scriptures, because we are subject to see more of this type of stuff. Okay, when as we always speak on Jacob's trouble coming down the pike here. All right, so there's going to be a lot of things going on. All right, and you got to keep your head on the swivel. So walk circumspectly out there. Okay, be careful. All right, so that'll do it for the lesson. Didn't want it to go on too long. Just really get to the point of it. So with that, I'll close the lesson right there, giving all praise to the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Hashem Rakak Wadash, and I'll see you all on the next lesson real soon. Shalom.